So, intuitive money management principle number three is make peace with money. Now, money trauma is real. Let's start there. Everyone has had different experiences with money growing up, and it's important that we acknowledge that everyone's story is different. For some people, it was scarce and it elicits feelings of fear. For some people, it was used as manipulation, and so it elicits feelings of guilt. And for other people, it was just literally never talked about at all. And then you're confused because you don't know what you're doing because you were never taught. And then that brings shame for not knowing how to manage it. Everyone's story is different. And whatever your story is, it's okay to acknowledge that it has impacted the way that you go about managing your money now. It has, it always does. But it's also important to give yourself permission to make peace with your story, make peace with those things so that you can make peace with money and allow it to be the blessing that it was designed to be. So, story time. I saw a post in a Facebook group and I was like, this is perfect for this concept. She she was like, so I've been a server my whole life. I've never made more than like $26,000 a year. I've always been paycheck to paycheck. And now I got a new job and now I'm making $50,000. She's like, I just got a single paycheck that was more than I used to make in an entire month. And I am freaking out. She was like, I don't know what to do. My gut is to just spend it all. My head says I should save it all. My heart, I'm just confused and I'm scared. Like, what if I fuck it up? Like, what if I can't do this? Like, how do I even manage this? How do I do it? I don't even know what to do when I have extra money. Help. Guys, I have seen this so many times. I see it all the time. The money, the income doubles and still it disappears. Like, what? I even had clients telling me, I have no problem receiving money. I just have issues keeping it. And one client was like, yeah, so I made $10,000 last month and I have nothing. I don't know where it went. Right? Why is that? Fun fact, 75% of lottery winners go bankrupt within a few years. Why? It's not a receiving block. They received millions of dollars, right? It's a having block. So what's that really about, right? Here's the thing. Any change or new experience, no matter how positive, is going to be uncomfortable until it is also familiar. In other words, for many people, the experience of having a surplus of money is a new experience. It is different, and therefore it is scary and uncomfortable. They may even be afraid that they're going to lose it all because they just aren't sure how to manage it. And like, of course, they're not sure how to manage it. If you've never had to manage $10,000, then of course, receiving $10,000 would be intimidating and scary. And you'd be worried that you'd manage it completely wrong, right? Because you've never done it before. It is uncomfortable. So, what is comfortable for you is living paycheck to paycheck, then you're going to continue living paycheck to paycheck, even if your paycheck doubles. It's subconscious. It's going to happen. I have seen it. And even if your paycheck doesn't go up, when you start to begin to manage your money better and better, when you become more and more confident with your money systems, your account balances are going to go up, right? And up. And you're going to start to have a good chunk of money in your checking and savings accounts, right? And you're going to start to see that surplus. And if you haven't made peace with money, that discomfort and anxiety and even fear will begin to build. I had a client once who was so used to having a balance on her credit card of owing like $10,000 that it actually made her feel very insecure and unsafe and uncomfortable when she would try to pay it off. Again, any change, no matter how positive, is going to feel uncomfortable until it is also familiar. If you aren't used to having excess, the moment you have it, you're going to sabotage it and spend it all. And then you don't have excess anymore, which means having the excess will never feel familiar because you're not letting it. You're constantly just letting it slip, right? So if you want to make peace with money, one of the first things that you have to realize is that making more money and having more money is safe. And the best way to do that, to realize that, is to allow that excess, that surplus, to become familiar. How? By keeping the money around, right? Keep it around so that it feels comfortable and familiar to you. You have to let it become familiar so that it feels comfortable. Now, the other thing that's important here as we talk about making peace with money is your subconscious beliefs about money. Your beliefs about what money means about you, what it might do to or for your family, how it affects the world are absolutely going to affect your ability to make peace with money. So I want you to do this exercise. I want you to close your eyes, not if you're driving. Close your eyes, take 3 deep breaths, and then tell me the first thing that pops up for you when you think of the word rich. Some people see Scrooge McDuck diving into a pile of coins. Some people see a wealthy businessman. Some people see a house in the mountains, right? I'll be honest, I hate when people that say that rich and wealthy are different. They are not different by definition. It is just a connotation that we have put in our minds that somehow one person with $1 billion is rich, but another person with $1 billion is wealthy because maybe they act differently. This connotation of like evil rich people, like the filthy rich, isn't just perpetuated by society and the media. We've seen examples in our own lives of what money does to people. You've seen money motivate people to leave their family. You've seen money motivate people to be greedy and deceitful. You've seen wealthy people do really disgusting things like flying on private jets to private islands full of trafficked young girls for their own pleasure and having so much wealth and privilege that the government and justice system completely looks the other way. But we won't talk about that. This is the thing. It's not that these things aren't happening. They are. What we have to realize, though, is that money isn't causing them. Money is just the tool being used by these people to get what they want. If you ever want to make peace with money, you have to accept that money is just a tool. If you have a carpenter who has a hammer and nails, he can nail some boards together, he can make something great. If you hand that carpenter $10,000, he's not going to suddenly like become a ballet dancer, right? No, he's going to go buy a better set of tools so he can make something bigger and better than he could have with just a hammer and nails. Money is just a tool that amplifies who you already are. Who you already are. He was already a carpenter. He just needed more tools, right? I say this all the time, and I will keep saying it. More money in the hands of good people is never a bad thing. People who are inherently good do not suddenly become bad just because they have money. You get to decide what money will create in your world and in the world around you. If you allow yourself to believe that money would make bad things happen in your world, you'll never be able to make peace with money. You get to decide what that looks like. Money is only going to amplify who you already are. And if you are a good person, then it means more good things for the world. So I want you to take some time, explore your feelings about wealth. What does it feel like? What would having a surplus of money mean for you? What would it mean about you? Allow yourself to really uncover the true feelings here so that you can begin making peace with money. Now, of course, I will add the caveat that because true money trauma exists, things like financial abuse, it is really important that you seek professional help if that's the case for you, to really help you unpack that trauma, work to make peace with money in a very safe environment, okay? So start exploring these feelings and don't be afraid to get help. See you in principle number 4.